Oh dear, schoolgirls. Okay, well, that might be interesting. I'm going to start with the 211, as usual. Let's go for the longest one. And that gives us the 1 and the 1 that we can isolate. Now, let's see. That's a 524, so those two are definite. The same over here with the 624 and the 225. And then this 9 means that those are in play, which means that these can't be, which means neither can that, or that because of the 2 in the column. So those go over by the 5, 3, 3, 3. Okay. Now, if those 3 are in play, that means that this one can't be, because that's as far as the 8 would extend. So now, so these all have to be part of the 9, which gives us a lot to work with from the top here. So I can clear off that, and that. Which means that one has to be the 4, which means that one can't be, and that one has to be there for the 2, and that has to be there for the 5. Okay, and that's for the 4. This one's nice and quick. So because this one is a 1, that we can lock that one off, which means that that one has to be filled in, because otherwise, because there's no other combination for the 8 there. Now, is there anything else that we could pick up? So this one has to be the 5, which means that is the 2, and that's the 4, so that's another row. And then that one has to be filled in for the 4 in the column, which means I can clear this one, which means that the 8 goes all the way up here. Now the 1 is going to be one of those 2, but we can't put that in at the bottom there. This one on the left fills out the 5, and that means that this can't be filled because the 2 or the 4 won't stretch there, so that 3 can be there. Right, which also means these 2 are clear because of the 2, which means this one has to be filled in, which means that one can't, which means that's where the 9 is, that's where the 1 is, and that's where the point of the 5 is, which also means that's the 2, which also means that's clear, and that's a 1, as is that, so we can clear that. And these 2 go in, and then that means that 2 goes in. Okay, so then you've got this 2, we can clear that. That row is a 2, 2, 1, 2, so that 2 comes in, and that 2 comes down from the column, clearing that. That means that this one must be a 1 on the left of the 6th row here, because these 2 have to make a 4 somehow, and so that only leaves room for that 1, 1, and then 4 here, and then those 2 also have to be filled in, and that one is not. And that one is clear because of the 2 on the column, which means that one's a 3, which means we've cleared a lot of that column, and we can fill those 2 in, which means that's another row there, which means that can't be real, which we knew. That one has to be filled in as a 3, and then this one must be the 4. Okay, I'm going to go for the middle column. That's 1, 2, 1, so we can block that one off. And then we know it ends with the 2, so we can block that one off. We also can... No, we can't block anything off on the bottom column because we don't know that yet. Although we know this one is filled in because of the 4. We know that one's filled in because that's going to be one of the 2 in that column. Okay, these 2 are both filled in, so we can carve out some negative spaces there. That one has to be a 2. That means that one has to be there. And that one can't be filled in because it has to be a 3 that ends that column. So let's block that one off. And that means that one has to be filled in, as does that one for that column. So then that's a 1, 2, 1, 3, 2. So those 3 are definitely in to get that column there. The 5th row across is 2, 2, 1, 2. So we can't do anything there. The middle column, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. So we know that one has to be filled in, which means we know that one can't be. It actually means we know that one is a 2 to get the full row. That one is blanked off for the 3 row, the middle row there. So that's 3, 2, and 4, which means we know that one has to be filled in, as does that one. And that one has to be the 1 for that column to finish that out. Okay. Well, that means the bottom row we cannot fill in because that has to be the 3. And then there has to be a gap there, so that is the 5 for that column. And then that one has to be there for that column, and that one for that to fill the row. Okay, and this 2 for that row. Then this row 2, 1, 2, and then that one has to be blank, which means that one finishes that column. Okay, and then the 5th row down, 2, 2, 1, 2, that one has to be the 1. That one's blanked out for the column, so that one has to be the 4. This one is a 1, so we can isolate it, which means that one has to be the 1 getting both the row and the column. This one gives us the 2 on the column, which gives us the whole row, and I think that's the last square. No, it isn't. We've got one more here. Done. No! Oh, where's my last square? There it is. And that's another one done. And it's, of course, a lovely schoolgirl it's the Queen Bee of Kirameki Private High. Why wouldn't you believe it?